We are very privileged today to have Dr. Freddie Fu as our white coat ceremony speaker. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Freddie Fu.
Good morning, Dean Sober, Dean O'Donnell, Dean Simmons, and Dean Davis, and Laurie, and welcome class of 2017, and all the family. And not too many years ago, I was here, but there was no white coat ceremony. So basically, this is a new beginning for me to address this group. And I feel very honored and privileged to do so. Now, what I did is I was thinking what I should talk to you about. So I wrote down 10 points, what I've learned in the last 30 plus years. And I find that is not quite enough. So I actually have 20 points. And it's in the bookmark. It's right in your white coat right now. And I think for those of you who are leaving, that will be on the basket somewhere if you want to, share, this with somebody at home. But so this is what I learned in the last 30 years, and I want to share with you about maybe how young doctors today, even older doctors, should approach medicine. So I'm going to do it by numbers. First, do what you love. Steve Jobs said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Having a passion for and enjoying what you do will ultimately pave the way to happiness and self-fulfillment. In the case of medicine, we should be passionate about teaching, research, and patient care. If you enjoy what you're doing, work will be fun. Number two, mentors. Mentors are a crucial part to your development as a person, as a physician. There are many people around you who can help, and you should not be afraid to ask. Identify the best role models here at the medical school who will guide and inspire you in the right direction. Right here, you will find many great mentors. 40 years ago, I fondly remember Dr. Roy Foster, Professor Elman Pfefferkorn, still here, and Dean James Strickler, still here. And he is the one who pointed me the direction to Pittsburgh. And so I really thank him up to today. 3, you have got friends. Over the next several years, you will develop lifelong friendships with your classmates right here and professors. No matter where you are, what you have done and how you're going to get there will be good times and bad times, high times and low times. Years from now, you will still look to your friends for support. 4, talking without speaking, hearing without listening. These are the song lyrics from Song of Silence by Simon & Garfunkel back in 1966. For all of you, it is critical to develop good communication skills. This includes the ability to listen, to reflect, and having empathy with your patients and colleagues. I have always admired Mr. Rogers, who went to Dartmouth and who received an honorary degree right here. I actually live in his neighborhood in Pittsburgh. Our houses were only a few streets apart in Pittsburgh, so I had a chance to talk to him. And Mr. Rogers has the remarkable ability to communicate with people of all ages, including children. We should all take a bit of Mr. Rogers in ourselves. 5, focus versus multitask. When focused, one can feel attentive and diligent. Multitasking is capturing what is happening around you, plus what you are concentrating at that instant. This is a unique talent given to maybe 1% of individuals. In reality, multitasking is overrated and over-glorified. Being highly attentive to one task at a time may be the most important practical skill to emphasize. Focus and be efficient. Number 6, IQ versus EQ. Both IQ and EQ are crucial to healthcare delivery. IQ allows for in-depth analysis of patient data, as well as narrowing diagnosis and treatment options. Now, EQ is what I call empathy quotient or emotional quotient. This is the means by which we connect with those around us. In the physician-patient relationship, a high EQ establishes an immediate connection, which then allows for an honest, trustworthy, and protective exchange. Number 7, FaceTime. We live in a digital world today, and as a result, this may provide us with a false confidence that no direct contact is necessary to achieve our objective. This could not be further from reality. In medicine, we must talk to our patients. This is one critical area in which human interaction is essential. Speaking to the patient and family face-to-face, being an active listener, and observing the general appearance may lead to a new revelation. Beyond this, FaceTime connects the patient with the physician as a trustworthy, capable, candid, and compassionate caregiver. Number 8, for better or for worse. In medicine, we are committed to a profession that by its own nature makes us grieve, joy, sadness, as well as moments that make us rejoice. Not every patient will get better. Not every patient will appreciate your hard work. Like a good marriage, we're in for the better or for the worse, to the ultimate benefit of the patient and our profession. Number 9, does no difference really mean no difference? Dr. Kim, our former president of Dartmouth College and now the president of the World Bank, was one quoted on healthcare delivery. We are making the same mistake in global healthcare that we make in the American system, believing that better diagnosis and therapeutic tools will solve all problems. They won't. They haven't. We don't measure results well enough. In fact, right here in Hanover, the Dartmouth Institute of Healthcare Policy and Clinical Practice, under the direction of Dr. Elliot Fisher and Dr. Weinstein, provide all of you with the unique opportunity to be critical of our evaluation tools and find differences. Right here in Hanover, the best place in the world to do that. So when you hear the phrase, there's no difference, it's the same. Challenge it. Set a high standard for yourself and your profession. Number 10, is evidence-based really evidence-based? Now, the phrase evidence-based medicine is one that you will hear again and again throughout medical school and the rest of your life. Evidence-based medicine utilizes the clinical expertise of the doctors, the values, expectation of the patients, along with the best clinical evidence to improve patient outcomes. The very concept of evidence-based medicine is based on how a study is designed. However, the process of data collection and analysis is just as important, and we must read the fine print, especially for conflict of interest, which can bias your results. I'm halfway now. Bear with me. Is the latest always the greatest? Innovation is a critical aspect to advancing healthcare in our profession. However, in the business of medicine, many times a product is being marketed to the medical profession and the public. In sport medicine, where I work in, we see this scenario all the time. A famous surgeon, a new treatment, and a professional athlete. This is going to sell your product quickly. Now, in the 1950s, a drug called thalidomide was developed in Germany and marketed as a sleeping pill to help cure morning sickness in pregnant women. It took almost 10 years to realize that this medication actually caused severe physical birth defects in children, which included being born without ears, arms, and legs. And in last Sunday, New York Times has a very good retro article on it. I think you should go and look at the video on this documentation. Unfortunately, the latest is not always the greatest. It is vital that vigorous scientific investigation takes place, with both positive and negative results, including complications, are reported and confirmed by independent investigators. Number 12, do the right thing. My mentor and former boss, Dr. Ferguson, who went to Dartmouth College in medical school many years ago, always said, just do the right thing. Take good care of your patients and they will take good care of you. This sounds like a simple concept, but in reality, this is not as simple. Doing the right thing is a summation of everything you have learned throughout your life and training. Every decision you make should be for the betterment of the patients. 13, credibility and integrity. As a medical profession, like my mom said, you already are credible in your public eyes. You're a doctor. Holding this credibility requires you to maintain integrity and to be free of conflict. You must do no harm and give your best to the patient. Number 14, patients come first. To quote Albert Einstein, only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. In the field of medicine, the patient should come first, second, and third. Okay, and maybe fourth too. Be a dreamer. Each and every one of us should continue to dream, big and small. But dreams don't always come true. And in those cases, we cannot become discouraged. Now, you're too young, but your parents may know the Broadway show South Pacific. There's a song there, the lyrics go, if you don't dream, you'll never have a dream come true. So keep on dreaming. Number 16, don't be a dinosaur. This is human nature to stick with what makes us feel as comfortable. However, innovation medicine and continue to improve the lives of our patients does not allow us to sit still. I challenge you today to renew yourself constantly. Challenge yourself and others around you to constantly learn and improve the betterment of healthcare in our society. Number 17, the world is flat. In 2005, famous author Thomas Friedman authored an international bestseller book titled The World is Flat, A Brief History of the 21st Century. There is an important point to be taken from this book, analysis of globalization, which is that all competition in the business world have an equal opportunity. This holds true in the globalization of medicine as well. Some of you come from other countries, like myself. I come from Hong Kong in 1970 to Hanover, New Hampshire. Regardless of your gender, ethnic background, or religion, each and every one of you controls your own destiny. In a global profession, we must speak the same language with others and understand the cultures. Healthcare delivery is not just an issue in this country. This is a global problem. And thanks very much for straining your ear to my very healthy Chinese accent. Despite an Ivy League education so expensive, they could not change my accent. Number 18. Now, this is called a terrible town. Right here, okay? So in 1975, Pittsburgh Steelers went to the Super Bowl, and a broadcaster named is Myron Cope said that we must, intimidate the other team by waving this towel. So he, marketed this towel. He sold it for $5, and it became very popular. Now, if you go to any football game, people are waving this kind of towels with different colors on. But secretly put all the proceeds of this towel, $5, $6, $7, it's probably $9 today, to a fund that profit the Allegheny School, which is a school for the disabled. And now this school received almost $10 million proceeding from this tiny town in the last 25 years. So no matter how big or small, I think you need to give back to your community. Not just money, but many other things you can do. Think about it. Medical school too, when you go out, in the future to work hard, okay? 19, home sweet home. Home is the most important base from which you will reach out to your profession. You will never replace your family. Remember all of the birthdays, anniversary, to take your kid to school, to sport events. In fact, it paid off because my son is here right there. I took him to so many sport events. Now he, at 35 years old, he come back to hear his daddy speak. Spend time with them. This should be always your number one priority. Lastly, I never dared to be radical when young, for fear it would make me conservative when old. Robert Frost. Now, Robert Frost, in this 1936 poem titled 10 Mills, was an award-winning poet in this country. But he also went to Dartmouth back in 1892, except he only lasted 2 months. This is too boring a campus for him. He has too much energy. But he came back as a faculty, and he was the only one to receive 2 honorary degrees from Dartmouth, ever. Life is a pendulum. Don't make a radical decision early on in your life that will come back to haunt you later. In fact, Confucius from China, 1,000 years ago, already preached this philosophy. As my mentor, Dr. Ferguson, told us just a few months ago at his 95th birthday, he said, take the middle road and don't do anything too crazy. Thank you very much.